guys, welcome to a new video, and in this video I will create a custom GPT that helps you create lead magnets that are valuable for your audience using AI. And in this custom GPT we're going to have a knowledge base. I'm going to show you how to build it from scratch, as well as a custom tool that is really interesting to build, and a lot of people don't know how to integrate that into a custom GPT. So if you're interested in this topic, just watch the video until the end and I promise you won't regret it. Hi guys, my name is Matt, and in this channel we talk about AI solutions for businesses, especially on the sales and marketing side of things. And as I said, today we're going to be looking into how to build a custom GPT that creates lead magnets for you. As you guys might have noticed, with different marketing strategies, there are a lot of them that involve creating a free asset that your customers can access in exchange for their email or some contact information. So I created a GPT that can do that for you in a couple different ways. This GPT will have a knowledge base with a full article on what are lead magnets and how you can use them, and a custom action that takes YouTube videos that like the ones that I have on my channel and create lead magnets specifically for that video. So let's jump into the computer and I'll show you how I did it. All right, so we are in the ChatGPT interface, and for you to do what I'm about to do, you're gonna need the premium subscription. You're gonna click over here on the right-hand corner on your logo or your initial, and you're going to click on My GPTs. So the first step that you wanna do is to click on Create a GPT, and here you have two options when you're creating a GPT, right? You can create by prompting ChatGPT and explaining what you want to do with the GPT by pure text, or you can go into the Configure tab. I have created a couple other custom GPTs before, and I'm a little bit more comfortable with this tab, so this is what we're going to use. And for the name of this GPT, I'm going to call this a lead magnet generator, and I'll include my name just because if I'm doing this for a client, I would include the client's name over there. The description over here, you don't need to worry too much about what to write over there. It's just kind of like something for you to remember what this GPT does. And in the description, I'm just going to leave this GPT creates valuable lead magnets. Now, the instructions are actually the part that really matter when it comes to creating these custom GPTs. And I already had a custom instruction that I wrote a little bit earlier today. So let me just walk you through what I have over here so you have an idea of what's going on. So the first portion of our instruction is just letting the GPT know what its role is. You can even write a role over here if you want to keep it a little bit more clear of what you're giving it. But essentially, I'm telling it that it is a world-class marketer who specializes in generating amazing lead magnets. A little bit of a quick description, one sentence description of what a lead magnet is. And I also mentioned that it creates lead magnets for my YouTube channel that is called Matt Paiva. And there's two main things that I want to do with this GPT, and this is where this description comes in handy. First, I want this GPT to be able to interview me using the voice function when I access it over on my phone. We're going to have a demo of this a little bit later. But essentially, I'm just saying that when you're prompted to interview me for a lead magnet, you should do the following things. And I outline 4 steps for them to follow. And at the very end, I say that when you are prompted with create a lead magnet for a YouTube video, they have to use this tool over here, which is a tool that we're going to create in Relevance AI and then import it over here to our GPT, so the GPT can access it via an API call. So the first thing that I want to do is actually to include a knowledge base over here, and it is a good practice to include like a description over here of how you want your GPT to use your knowledge base. But let me just show you what I'm gonna grab essentially is this HubSpot article. By the way, I love HubSpot. This video is not sponsored. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, shape, or form, but I do love all the resources that they have. They have a bunch of lead magnets, and this article over here by Kevin was just one of the best ones that I've read about lead magnets so far. So I'm just gonna grab this and click on Command P as if I was gonna print it, and then I'm just gonna save this as a PDF file for my reference so I can input that in my GPT as well. So let's go back to the custom GPT configuration page and let's add our knowledge base, which we just downloaded. So this is our file, what is a lead magnet, and 20 lead magnets ideas and examples. And I'll just add that. And while it loads, I'm going to include something else in the instructions, just as a quick instruction for our GPT so the GPT understands how we want to use the lead magnet. So yeah, I'm just going to include one sentence here saying when you are prompted with any other question related to lead magnets, refer to the knowledge base. With knowledge bases, you can create them in a couple different ways. For example, if I wanted to include a knowledge base that it's an example of how I write my lead magnets, I could include that. And then my sentence would be, when you are actually creating the lead magnet, consider the knowledge base and create something similar like that, or something along those lines. Like if I want to include a checklist or an ebook or a blog post or anything like that, I can create little instructions on when to interact with each one of the knowledge bases, and we can go from there. So down here is where we create our custom actions. In fact, this is where we import our custom actions. We're going to create our tool or custom action, whatever you want to call it, under Relevance AI. And I'm already logged in over here, but let me pull up what it actually looks like. If you want to create an account, you can create a free account. You have access. They work in like a credit system, and essentially you can like get it for free at first, and then you can pay $2 for 1,000 credits, if I'm not mistaken, which is this option over here. But let me show you how I created the tool that we're going to be using for this GPT. I went over here in templates, and you can see a lot of different templates over here. In fact, this Vappy voice demo checking assistant is, I believe, a new one, like updated today. But essentially the Relevance AI team is always updating new templates that you can use for different things, and you can always export these tools to GPT if you're building a custom GPT just like this one. So the one that I used this one over here, YouTube video to blog. This one over here is the one that I created. Actually, I didn't create this one. As I said, I edited this one. And these are the inputs that I need as of right now: the YouTube video link, the lead magnet name, and the lead magnet type. The only things that I edited out were the LLM prompts over here, and I edited over here. If you're using the same tool from Relevance AI, you do need to click over here on settings, and you would be able to see the system prompt. They have a very long system prompt that is very specific for blog posts. So I just went ahead and I changed that, and I've been experimenting with it ever since. But right now it's at a place where I'm happy with it. So I'm going to give you guys a demo of this tool once it's imported into GPT. So once you have your tools ready, what you want to do is you want to click over here on the right-hand corner on New, and this is going to open up this page. And what you are going to do if you have your tool ready is you're going to click on Custom Actions for GPTs, top right-hand corner as well. And this is going to open up a very intuitive step-by-step guide on how you can do this on your own. But I'm just going to show you guys how to do it, and essentially I'm going to follow the step-by-step. First step that you need to do over here after you created your custom GPT layout is to select the tool that you're going to use. As you guys can see, I have a lot of tools that I've been playing around with for the past few months. So I'm just going to select YouTube video to lead magnet. And here I'm going to create an API key that's specifically for this GPT. So we copy the API key, and then we move back to our GPT, and we're going to click on Create New Action. Once we click on Create a New Action, you're going to import that API key that you just copied over here into authentication. And you click on API key, and here you just paste whatever you copied from before. Down here, just keep it as basic, because I'm pretty sure that's how it's set up to create. And now we're going to import our OpenAPI schema, and essentially Relevance also does this for us. So once we've done that step from before, you just need to click on Generate OpenAPI Schema. And this is essentially how OpenAI calls your API in Relevance. You can create these schemas with different softwares as well. I just find that Relevance AI has been the most straightforward one that I've used in the past. And once you have pasted this over here, you just click on Format, and it's going to format it for you. So down here, you should be able to see the name of your action and a privacy policy as well. The privacy policy is only if you're creating GPTs that are being shared externally. I am currently creating a GPT that's going to be for my own use, so I'm not going to create a privacy policy. But when you are at this stage, just remember to copy the name of your action over here, and go back to your instruction. Let me actually put this on full screen. And make sure that this name over here that you have is the same one. I think right now when I pasted it, it pasted with the post to the side. I don't think I need the post over here. So we'll test that out and see if that's done correctly. I'm pretty sure it is. And over here, I'm just going to create a quick photo with Dolly just because to have something there. And we're going to start creating our conversation starters. And it looks like it created the lead magnet logo over here. I guess it went with the magnet part. I'll take it, honestly. So here on the conversation starters, I'm just gonna say interview me for a lead magnet. And then the second one, I'm going to say create a lead magnet from YouTube. And the third one is help me with lead magnet ideas. And we should be good to create this and start testing this out. You can always edit this GPT once it's created, but the things that you want to double check is to double check your instructions and make sure that they make sense. A specific part of your instructions that should always be double checked is your description of the tool. So one thing that we need to keep in mind is to always lay out the types of inputs that we're going to need for this tool, so GPT asks for the right things before it sends over to Relevance. And here it looks like it's right. So I wrote, it requires the user to provide a YouTube URL, the name of the lead magnet, and the type of the lead magnet. So essentially we have a few things that we need over here, and this should be working fine. I'm just going to click on create a lead magnet as a test to see if it asks for the right things. Yeah, it's asking for lead magnet type, video details, and lead magnet name. So it looks good so far. Let's go ahead and create this. And I'm going to click only me. As you guys can see, once you click on anyone with the link or the GPT store, which would be available almost like an app store type of situation, you would need to change your privacy policy over here. So I'm just creating this GPT for myself. So this over here is going to be only me. We're going to save this. So I want to stress test this tool now that we have built it completely, and I'm going to start with help me with lead magnet ideas. Let's see what it comes up with, because this is the one that I prompted the least in the instructions, and I'm curious to see what type of things that it's going to come up with right away. So here are some ideas that you can effectively use to attract your audience: ebooks, guides, templates, checklists, workbooks, case studies. Okay, so I have been stress testing this GPT under that prompt of understanding what kind of lead magnet I should create, and it came out with some pretty decent results, as we can see over here in the computer. I've always asked it to create two options and always asked which option is a little bit better. Over here, I asked it to create an index of like a guide on how to use GPTs for marketers. And it included this option 2, a shortened option 2, which was the one that I told it to go with, which is a modular and a practical structure for this type of guide. And then I prompted it again, asking it to write the strategic foundations, and it came out with a pretty good result. It starts by saying like identify your marketing challenges, and then map GPT capabilities to your marketing needs. So it's really good. It's not necessarily what I would write, so that's exactly where the interviewing process will come in. So that's what we're gonna test out now over on my phone. So we're gonna start by clicking on interview me for a lead magnet over here, because I want to see what's the first response that's going to come up with. It says, great, let's start by clarifying the type of lead magnet you're looking to create. Are you aiming for something like an ebook, checklist, template, or perhaps something more interactive? So now that I have asked this first question, I'm going to start a audio conversation. I'm just going to wait for it to load. I'm going to have this conversation and record this for you guys. And let's see if GPT is able to create what I wanted to create. So I'm going to try to do a lead magnet for a previous video that I had about how I got to 1,000 subscribers. And that one's supposed to be a checklist. Hi GPT, you know you're supposed to interview me for a creation of a lead magnet, and you just asked me what type of lead magnet I'm looking for. I'm going to give you a little bit of context about the video and the lead magnet that I want to create. Is that okay with you?
Absolutely, I'm ready for the context. Go ahead and share the details about the video and the lead magnet you're thinking of.
So I want to create a checklist for a video that I posted a couple weeks ago called How I Got 1,000 Subscribers in Less Than 2 Months. And essentially in that video, I go about talking about my process of how I do research on YouTube to find ideas for my videos. Did you get that?
Got it. You're aiming to create a checklist based on your video, How I Got 1,000 Subscribers in Less Than 2 Months, which focuses on your process for researching YouTube video ideas. Let's clarify the structure of the checklist. Do you want to break it down into steps or categories? And are there any specific tools or tips you want to make sure are highlighted in the checklist.
So I want to break it down into steps, and the three main steps that are going to have checklist items underneath are research, nurturing, and sales calls. Under the first portion, I want there to be two checkpoints or checklist items where one is doing research by looking at other videos with more than 100,000 views in less than 3 months. And two is another checkpoint of being the first or being the best. And the other one that I want to include actually is a checklist item where you create pros and cons list of videos that you have watched in the past. Under the nurture category or under the nurture step, I want you to create a checklist for creating lead magnets. And on the third one, I want you to include sales calls. That was really extensive, but I really hope that GPT understands it, and let's see if it got that.
Thanks for the detailed breakdown. Here's how the checklist will be structured based on what you've shared. 1. Research. Check other videos with 100,000 plus views. Look for videos in your niche that have gained over 100,000 views in less than 3 months. Be the first or be the best. Decide if your content will be unique by being the first of its kind or by being the best version out there. Create a pros and cons list. For videos you've watched in the past, list out the strengths and weaknesses to guide your content creation. 2. Nurture, create lead magnets. Develop a lead magnet to convert viewers into subscribers or followers. This could be a downloadable resource, like a checklist or template relevant to your video content. Here, sales calls. Schedule and prepare for sales calls that align with your content and audience needs. This could be part of a strategy to offer additional services or products related to your YouTube content. Does this structure look good to you? Would you like to add or tweak anything?
I just paused it again. So far it looks like it got the idea. I would tweak a few different things, but I'm just gonna say like, yes, this is the structure. Please create the checklist. Yes, this is the structure. Please create the checklist. And let's see what it comes up with. All right, so it's starting to create a checklist. Check for trending videos. Two checkpoints underneath that. Be the first or be the best. Create the pros and cons list. And I guess like create a pros and cons list would be underneath be the first or be the best. So I can always edit that underneath. But it looked like it understood what I was trying to do over here. And since we're trying to create like a checklist for the sake of this demonstration, it shouldn't like be too extensive. Obviously, if I'm writing like an ebook or if I'm writing like a guide, one strategy that I've seen other people do that seems to work out really well is to start by creating an index and asking GPT to create an index for you. So you edit that index and then you create one step at a time. And then you take that draft and you go and edit it yourself. I don't think that having fully generated GPT lead magnets are a good idea. You just need to be authentic, like measure how much of GPT you want it to be in your content and how much you don't want it to be in your content. Personally, I feel like I'm finding a balance every time that I use this. So if I would recommend you to do anything is to start using this and then finding your own sweet spot. So since we tested the interview function and also the knowledge base, let's test the Relevance AI tool that we created. So I'm going to click on create a lead magnet from YouTube. It's asking me for the inputs that I want. And I'm going to take one of my videos over here. I'm going to take this one that I posted just yesterday, which is about a book that I just finished reading. I'm going to copy the link for that video. And over here, I'm going to paste the URL. I'm always going to like outline which one is which URL. Then the lead type, I'm going to say a book summary. Let's see how it deals with this because I didn't like book summaries are not really a lead magnet type. And the lead magnet name will be so good they can't ignore you, which is the title of the book. And then I'm going to say a book summary for AI enthusiasts. and I'm going to click it to run. There's always like an authorization step before it runs fully. I do recommend, if you are an AI enthusiast, by the way, and you haven't read So Good That They Can't Ignore You, I do recommend watching the video that I created. I'm going to leave it over here because it gave me so many insights into how we can implement the insights from the book into learning about AI. I'll just leave it at that and you can go learn about it in the other video. But let's see if this tool is working the way it should be. So it does look like this GPT created the summary that we were looking for, but I'm not super sure how deep it went into actually listening to or reading the transcripts from the video. There are points that I do mention in the video, like the passion hypothesis, craftsmanship, importance of deliberate practice, control, and then mission. Like these are the broad points that I created, but it's pretty short for what I wanted. So I guess that the best approach over here is to take this and then expand it on my own, also using GPT. And as you guys can see, I love using the function where you can just talk to it and let it interview you, because you can input a lot of information into it at once and it can filter through it and create whatever you want it to create. I personally like learn a lot through voice and audio as well, so that's just a own preference of mine. But if you would rather type away your lead magnets because you prefer that, that's on you. You can obviously do that as well. So that's it. This is how you create a custom GPT that can help you create lead magnets for your marketing flows. So far, I've been really happy with the results that it came with, and honestly, I would rather edit these lead magnets myself. I do think that they provide a lot of value, and this is the first time that I'm using AI to create the lead magnets for my YouTube channel. I definitely like the idea of drafting it with AI, but I do think that there's a lot of human input that needs to be done over here. But if you're stuck in ground zero and you don't really know how to start, this is definitely a way that you can get started quicker and just take out that time of thinking about what you want to do out of your workflow really quickly. Okay, so thank you so much for watching the video all the way to the end. I hope you found this helpful. And if you want me to build one of these solutions, AI solutions for your business, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm going to leave a link and my email down in the description below. So just shoot me an email with what you want to build and I'll see if I can help you out. I'll also leave another video over here that you can watch and learn a bit more about AI solutions for businesses. If you have any content ideas, feel free to let me know down in the comments below as well. And if you want to learn more about this topic, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.